Who in this room is this not your first rodeo? Who's done this before? This is not your first rodeo. Better yet, who in here is this your first time to volunteer with United Way? 1, 2, 3. All right. So now we'll go the other direction. Who has done this before? Everybody. So that's what you're working with, Bill. We have a lot of seasoned vets in here, and I guarantee it's going to go smoothly. So I just want to welcome all of y'all. Thanks for taking time out of your day to show up. Thank you for making the contribution to United Way and volunteering your time. That's probably the most important. So with that, I'm gonna say a quick prayer since I neglected to do that before we started eating. If y'all don't mind, if y'all will allow me. Father God, thank you for the day, Lord. Thank you for the weather. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the rain that's on its way and the cooler temperatures that are in our forecast. Thank you for these people today, Lord. Thank you for their servant-minded attitudes and their efforts that they're going to put in for United Way. Just thank you, Lord, for them. I just pray that you watch over them as they're out working for United Way, and just be with us in this campaign this year. Lord, I just pray that you would be involved in it and that your will would be done. Thank you for the food that you've given us today, Lord. And I just pray that you bless it to the nourishment of our body and just forgive us when we fall short. Amen. Amen. All right, so without further ado, I want to introduce your 2019-2020 campaign chairs. For those of y'all that do not know, Bill and Beverly Owens, they come to us. They got a campaign goal of $165,000 this year that I think we can definitely meet with everybody's participation. And turn it over to them.
First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing us the opportunity to chair the Hopkins County United Way campaign this year. We consider it a great honor, and we're excited to be part of the history of Hopkins County United Way. We also consider it a great honor to have all of you choose to serve as campaign volunteers. I have to say I'm a little nervous. Usually I'm on that side. But as I look around and I see the many volunteers that have volunteered from before, but there are also several new volunteers, and we appreciate you joining to help collect packets. As you know, it takes volunteers to make a successful campaign, and we believe we have the very best volunteers right here. The first ever Hopkins County United Way kickoff was October 1955. They set a goal of $29,500. They were so confident they would make their goal as they scheduled a victory celebration for 10 days later. They had, now listen to this, 350 campaign workers go into action to collect funds. Did they meet their goal? Yes, why of course. But it took a little longer than 10 days. It was 28 days. The first Hopkins County United Way met and exceeded their goal by raising $29,631. Now that was back in October of 1955. Some of you might have had a parent or a grandparent in that first Hopkins County United Way meeting, where several businessmen gathered together and set out to help those in need in our community. Now 64 years later, we are still meeting today to set out to meet a goal, and we can continue the history of United Way in Hopkins County. So the history of coming together and helping others still remains today. The plan back in 1955 was to involve everybody. That's still true today. That's why we're here today, to get you involved. The goal this year is $165,000. It's going to take everyone to meet this goal. Hopkins County has always been a giving and caring community. We are blessed to live in this great community. There are so many everyday heroes right here in this room. Each of you are an everyday hero. You're giving of your time. There are over 20 charitable organizations listed. please take a moment and look over each of these organizations that will benefit from United Way. As you go out to collect packets from the businesses, tell them about these organizations and what they will benefit from their donations. If there is one that you would like more information about, please let us know. Some of you are here today representing some of these organizations, and I can't say thank you enough for the good work you do in our community. My grandmother used to say, it's better to give than to receive, and you are giving of your time so that others may receive.
Thank you, Beverly. She did the short one, now I'll do the long one here. But I want to keep y'all over an hour, so is that okay? Beverly has served with the United Way as a campaign worker or a board member for something like 20 years or so. And I always supported the United Way, but I never had that heartfelt, burning desire to help and serve through it. That is until I attended my first allocation meeting when I found out about all these great needs in our communities, how families and children need us, and how the need is even greater than what the $165,000 that we're going to try to raise here. Now, one of our first tasks as campaign chairs was to come up with a theme, and the theme I had on my heart was this hero theme. I thought I had an original, powerful idea, but I found out other United Ways and other organizations that used it before, and for a good reason. The campaign theme this year is Be a Hero, but Beverly and I gave it a little twist. Hero, H-E-R-O, giving, hope, empowering, renewal, and opportunity. Now, Beverly gave you a little history about the United Way, and throughout my experience with this hero thing has been coming up in my mind. I'm reminded of it all the time. One of our first meetings happened to coincide with the 75th anniversary of D-Day. That day on June 6, 1944, more than 160,000 Allied troops landed on this highly fortified German coastline along the beaches of Normandy, and many gave their ultimate sacrifice, and I thought, wow, these heroes gave hope, empowering, renewal, and opportunity to the world here. And then just a few days ago, we remember 9/11. Firefighters, first responders, military police, civilians, and maybe even our president, what a thought, became heroes. Helping unite a divided nation and keep and defend our hope, empowering, renewal, and opportunity in this great country. Makes me a little misty-eyed. I don't know about you. But on a lighter note, another recent anniversary began on May 25th, 1961. And I'm taking you a little ways back, but then President John F. Kennedy announced before a special joint session of Congress the dramatic and ambitious goal of sending an American safely to the moon before the end of that decade. The space race began. Now remember back then, I was there. Our technology consisted of like black and white tube TVs. You call the repairman up and he came to your house to fix it. Telecommunications consisted of a rotary dial telephone on a party line at my house. And gaming, many times for us kids, it was a stick and a can and a cardboard box that we could make last for a week. But 50 years ago, on July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 touched down on the lunar surface and safely delivered Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, the first humans to land on the moon. That was a big deal, a big boost for nighttime TV, I'll tell you. But they were heroes to me in the world, giving hope, empowering, renewal, and opportunity. The point I'm trying to make here, though, is you don't have to risk your life or go to the moon to be a hero, especially for the United Way and the organizations it supports, the people it serves. All you need is a little ambition, determination, self-motivation, maybe a little work ethic, and a big smile. The everyday hero gene is found inside of everyone everywhere. It's just waiting for the right moment to be turned on. This, I feel like, is my moment. This is your moment. It's expressed in simple, ordinary actions of kindness, courage, and love. This is your time to act and to love. The everyday hero sacrifices for the greater good. This is your sacrifice. And what a wonderful sacrifice it is. A hero shows true empathy and compassion. This is your heart. Doing good feels good, and it's in our nature to do good things for others, sharing love. And you can feel good about what you're doing for the United Way. The everyday hero is in all of us here at the United Way. You can make a big difference. We can make a big difference together. This is your goal. This is our goal. $165,000 by the first week in November. Do you think we can do it? Yeah, I think so. Do you think you can do your part? Yes, I think so. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can I do my best to help reach this goal? And I'm proud we opened with a prayer. I don't want to be politically incorrect, but I sure want to be unpolitically correct here, okay? I believe one of the most important things we can do, you can do, is pray. Pray for the United Way success, for the funds needed, for Beverly and me, for Susan and Mike, for the businesses we visit, for all the organizations and the people who are in need, and for each other. It's not too uncomfortable for you. Just say a little prayer in your heart for the people with you at your table, sitting across from you. To give them ambition, determination, self-motivation, a little work ethic, and a big smile. Anybody smiling out here? Well, now, I don't think we can do it. I know we can do it. Why don't we just knock this out by the last week of October or something instead of November? To the people that struggle just to get by day to day, or to a challenged child that has a chance to play a game of baseball on a team with their peers, or to a young man or to a young woman in prison by the grip of drugs or alcohol abuse, you have an opportunity to be maybe even a bigger hero than an astronaut, firefighter, first responder, military, or even the president in their eyes, in their world. Another definition of a hero is a person who is admired and idealized for their courage and achievements and noble qualities. Hardly ever hear of an unknown hero, right? Many heroes obtain a celebrity status. As you pick up your packets and make your plans to deliver them, please remember this. We admire, idealize, and thank you all for the gifts and the sacrifice you're making for the United Way and your community. You're a better hero to us than any celebrity or rock star, actor or actress, or million-dollar athlete, to all the people who need you so much. Thank you for giving hope, empowering, renewal, and opportunity. Thank you for being a real hero, the United Way.
Well, I feel sorry for whoever has the next campaign. That was awesome, Bill. I'm going to take just a quick second and thank a few people here. I'm going to thank Sandy Wallace with Planet AMC and Edward Jones, Chris Voorhees for sponsoring today's lunch. So, quick round of applause. Teen Court volunteers for helping stuff the packets that are up here. I need to thank Mike Horn with Lassen's Printing for the campaign materials donation. And then I need to thank the media, News Telegram, KSST, and Front Porch News. Did I see Front Porch News? I didn't see Front Porch News, okay. For providing coverage for the upcoming campaign. I know they'll be involved going forward. Again, I just want to thank all of the volunteers that are here. Again, those that come year in, year out. I know that we've got some that aren't here, but it's kind of awesome when you can where you don't have to constantly reach out to people and just constantly call people and ask them to come back and volunteer, and volunteers are just waiting to come back. So that's very telling of what the United Way does. So we appreciate y'all. For the newcomers, it's awesome. It's easy for me to do. Kind of my real quick story. Brandon Williams asked me to do it 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be something I'm going to go out. I'm going to have the sales pitch and I'm volunteering and you know how that all works, right? You just walk up and hand your package to, I guarantee 99.9% of all the folks that were on my list, and I don't know if I just got lucky and got a good list or what, but you walk into their businesses, you hand them the packet, and most of them, can I write you a check right now?
You got one. You got
Yeah. I'm not trading with you. Again, 99.9% of my list, you walk in and they'll hand you a check, and there's not a whole lot of sell to it. Everybody knows, most everybody knows in the community what the importance of this is and the value of it and how it impacts our community in a positive way. So hopefully you'll get as lucky as I did. Maybe you will. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Susan, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our packets and go from there.
I'll just reiterate our gratitude to each of you truly. I think we've got a group of about 45 volunteers this year, which is pretty consistent year to year. Some of you are actually working your campaign at your place of business, and we appreciate all that you'll do there. And seeing Gordon, hi Gordon. Gordon has already on our behalf worked the campaign with for the city of Silver Springs employees, and we'll be reporting their pledge at our first report meeting for employees. So thank you for already doing that. But thank you for being here. I think Bill alluded to it, Mike of course has, and Beverly as well. We're doing ministry, we really are, and so I hope that you will approach it that way. I think it brings just a deeper meaning to what we do. If you think of what you're doing as ministry. And it was also mentioned earlier just about how we want to approach these businesses that we'll be asking you to go to. I would ask in your prayers that you just specifically pray that business owners, individuals, employees would just have a general spirit of extreme generosity. That's what we want. We just want them to have a spirit of generosity. And in doing that, I have every confidence that Bill and Beverly will not only meet the 165, but exceed it. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got just a few housekeeping logistic type things to go over with you, especially for our new volunteers. Each of you, before you leave, are going to get a set of packets. Inside your baggie, you're going to have just a summary sheet, a listing of the businesses that we want you to reach out to. It'll look like this. Your businesses are going to be listed. This is for you, just kind of a checklist to make sure that you draw the packet to all of those and that you return to each of those businesses for your pickup. So for every business listed, you're going to have a white campaign envelope. It's going to have your name on there. It's going to have the business name, and it's going to have a campaign goal that we have set for that particular business in order to help us to get to the 165. Inside their packet, and again, Mike alluded to the fact most everyone that you take one to, they're going to know that inside they're going to have that campaign brochure. They're also going to have a white donation card. If it is a new business that has never been, that we've never reached out to before, it's going to indicate on your summary sheet that they're new. So look at that summary sheet, and if you see that you're especially delivering to someone that we've not asked for a donation card before, pull this out. Tell them a little bit about who we are and show them that any money that they contribute is going to be used to help support 20 nonprofit organizations in our community next year. All of the organizations listed serve people that live in Hopkins County. So remember that. If some of you are working as a team delivering packets, if that's the case, I did not list a worker name on your envelope. So however you split those up, just make sure that you put one of your names as the worker. There's also a place for your phone number. So if you drop this off and they get their check ready, later that week, they will call you and say, hey, I've got my donation ready, they'll know how to reach you. So make sure there's a name and a phone number on each envelope. At the bottom, there's also a place where you can indicate when you hope to come back by for your donation, so that you'll know how to appropriately plan and they'll know when to expect you. If you're working a workplace campaign, you are very likely going to have the blue payroll deduction cards. So if that's you working a workplace campaign, those blue cards stay with the employer. We don't need and we don't want those back. The blue pledge cards stay with the employer. Also, to our workplace campaign people, contact me, Beverly, Bill, Mike, so that we can coordinate a time for Beverly and Bill or somebody from United Way to come out and visit with your employees. We would love to have that opportunity. So know that you can get in touch with me. You've got my email, phone number, and my phone number is also on the front of that brochure if you just need it quickly. We will begin meeting weekly starting Tuesday, October 1st at what we call our report meetings. These take place at 9 in the morning, every Tuesday in October, and then the first Wednesday in November, and we meet at the AgriLife Extension Office just across the parking lot. Your attendance at those is not mandatory, but we hope that you'll be able to come and make some of those meetings. At those meetings, we want you to bring your donations, and we want to be able to just record those donations as quickly as they come in. So if you see that you're not able to make a meeting, but you've got contributions ready, call or email me, text me, we'll make arrangements to get them from you. We'd rather begin counting at each meeting as quickly as we've got donations ready. And I'll email all of those report meeting dates and times to you today, so we're looking for that so that you can just kind of make notes as to when those will be. I also real quickly want to thank Charlotte Campbell and Leader Reynolds who came to help serve. So thank you for coming a bit early and doing that. We appreciate you. Does anyone have any questions about the just how-tos of this that I can answer? So before you leave, I've got your things here. Most of you have bags, some of you have boxes. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate you.
I might not have been listening to you, Mike, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we said thank you to Carolyn McKinney and the staff here at the Dairy Museum for hosting this event and the beautiful table settings and all. Again, Sandy Wallace and with Plain and Fancy, and also Edward D. Jones and Chris Voorhees for sponsoring the lunch, all the news guys, and for Susan Burke for keeping it all together. This lady does a lot of work. We're just talking about, we can say this job is hard, and it's really not, but it's because of what she does. And Mike, thank you for your support. Now, thank you all your campaign workers. Don't forget to get your packets and volunteering for your time. And and for being an everyday hero for us. Thanks, Mike.
Big box, baby. 2 of them.
Yeah, most everybody else got a packet.
We're busy.
Why do you have a box?
Every campus. Every campus. That's right. We have a leader on every campus that's in charge of the campuses, and then we get it all back together. Yeah, unlike this little small packet here.
They're kind of making you have to look lazy, don't it?